Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're coming from. Welcome back to Dan's Trades. Appreciate you coming out, supporting the channel. As always, I'm not an advisor. Today I'm just going to review what kind of trade activity we had. It is NFP Monday. NFP Wednesday. That being October 2nd. It is currently 5:30 Eastern Time. Markets are closed. And we're in their pre-market, listening to the live stream again as he was having his commentary. This is a 15-second chart, MNQ, micro NASDAQ. So big picture, we had just been down into that higher time frame point of interest, and we were rallying up. We got the NWOG here from the week of September 22nd that we're coming up towards. And just so yesterday's PM session was the last time we were here. There's yesterday's trades. So London session overnight was nasty. All kinds of gross. Definitely, but we had taken sell side. We've taken buy side coming into the morning session. So we'll zoom back in. And now we're in the 8 o'clock hour. We're coming to the 850 macro. And I watched the run up. We're tape reading this. Just came out of here. Nice aggressive move up. Zero bias on the day. I'm literally just looking at this for plain volatility before the market opens. Since it is the week of NFP, this is my last live trades. And this bottom inversion fair value gap is a 1 minute inversion fair value gap. That was the only one that I keyed off of with a sell stop right at the base here of that inversion fair value gap, 19,993.50. Looking for the reversal here, sell side liquidity, or excuse me, buy side liquidity up here. Remember that for later. And then previously, so I drew in the additional artifacts after the fact as I'm looking at it with hindsight. And I see even down on a 5-second chart, we have a balanced price range up here. On the 15-minute chart, we have this fair value gap that it respected consequent encroachment perfectly. We have another inversion fair value gap here on a 15-second chart. That would be a reclaimed one as price traded down through it, kind of consolidated right on it, then broke down below it. So I was planning on that to be that inversion right there, as it was a BIST up at this point. But price hadn't been below it, so I set my sell stop as it triggered below it, targeting a long way down, actually down to the bottom here again, but that was just the terminus. I was watching it on a 1 minute chart and I didn't like the way that it reacted into the macro, so I was 3 minutes front running the macro here, admittedly. See at 850 here, dead on the macros when it came up back into it a second time, trading into it. It came up above, came below, and I didn't like that it didn't respond right away. I was anticipating quicker spooling, but apparently I was a little impatient, so I just said I'm cutting it off. I'm fine. I didn't even care. Just a couple handles below it. And then price did rally back up a little bit over it, closed above. So we had taken some liquidity from sell side, so we were able to come back up and hit this balanced price range, but it never closed above it. The bodies respected it. Again, I'm not training, not teaching. I'm just showing things that I've found in the charts. And then we did move lower as expected, but that wasn't until 9 o'clock candle, which was a much better play. After price had broke down, these equal lows came back up and tagged this one. So this would have been a much better entry at the 9 o'clock hour instead of front running the macro, because that's where it made the nice move all the way down just in that 15 seconds. You'd think there was 9 o'clock news. Today was only, let me look at the Wednesday, yeah, 8:15 a.m. That was the last news event, which was ADP non-farm employment change came out at 8:15. So yeah, there was no news at the 9 o'clock hour. The next news was oil at 10. So yeah, there's no news. So this is literally just on the 9 o'clock time when it moved. Interesting. A lot of selling pressure came in right there apparently. Hee hee. But that was a nice trade pre-market. I was just a little impatient, so I said I'm fine with that. It's a week of NFP. Chopped it off early. I really only wanted to see here for the opening range gap potential trade. So this one was successful, even though I didn't take it or I didn't stay in it. I'm perfectly fine with that. Then seeing price go where it's supposed to. That's nice. Then the opening range gap came. We're going to drop down to the 5-second chart on that one to show you the fine details. Zoom back in there. So this one I'd like to be able to tell you that I used a limit order, but I did not, because in the amount of time I was looking to do a similar idea of placing a buy stop right here for an entry as it broke into the opening range gap, which we see right here is the black section. So opening range gap is here. Consequent encroachment is there. You obviously already see it ahead. Here's the trade setup. Theory out behind it was inversion fair value gap, 15-second. One here. Actually, this is a 5-second one, so I should change that. But price is fractal, so here's the other PD rays that had already broken through and was honoring, or you can say have broken on this side, so that's the signal that's going to move. So think about it like that. That helped me. It's not always just 3 PD rays for your stop, but once 3 PD rays that you can identify and price is moving, that can be a signal to potentially enter. Might want to research that. So, but instead of being able to get my buy stop on there within a few seconds, I literally used the market order button, which I have now removed from my chart, so I don't use it again. But it did work out, filled me right here, so obviously worse than my sell stop, or excuse me, buy stop would have been. As it did cruise up through this busy, or excuse me, SIBI, which is now an inversion fair value gap, quickly. So 5-10 seconds, quick reactions, wasn't ready, just marketed it in and rode it up to consequent encroachment. That was my terminus, because that's all I want for this trade. Yes, that did fill it later, we'll see that, but we're going to figure out why. But just to get the first chunk of meat on the bone, and it's still within the 20 points, just barely, 21.5, so I got just slightly under because of the market order versus the sell stop, excuse me, buy stop. I keep doing that. And then the exit was right as we're coming up into it. And we also had, remember what we said before? Well, that's a different one actually. Down in the low time frame, still got relative, exactly identical equal highs right here that I was taking out even before, which is also consequent encroachment of this end dog. The CE doesn't show up. I haven't it painted on my 15-second chart, but you can see that's obviously consequent encroachment of these 2 purple lines, which is the end dog from this morning. That's exactly where that price lag run or ended. So I truly enjoy seeing that, and I am honestly a little surprised at some of my own precision recently. Outside of, yeah, there's still lots of room for improvements, but I personally think this is awesome. And then we went back to listing a little bit. Actually, wasn't I was done trading for the day, but I wanted to tape read for a while. So me and a few buddies were tape reading, throwing stuff in our personal Discord channels, not in any big groups. Watching price over here. Let's go back to a minute chart, since that's what I was watching on versus the, I don't stay on a 5-second obviously, but it's much easier to see it as you're looking at it second by second as the opening is happening. It is a fairly quick environment if you're not prepared. Yes, the price is moving the same speed, but your perception of it is off. Okay, so after we had that quick scalp, just under 20 points, opening range gap, 0.5% fill, 70% plus 70% time that happens. Then we're just watching price. Fair value gap here, inversion from back over here now, and I said if we break back above this, A couple of my buddies come back down, use it as a version, targeting CE of these NWOGs. And which is also, remember what we said, remember that buy side liquidity? Thank you very much. I was just slightly ahead of the game. Instead of in the macro, I waited till after the macro, so I'll chalk it up to sloppiness of NFP week coming around. So, but price still gets there. You're just gonna have to work through some more retracements. Much dirtier price action we can obviously see there. After that, I was plenty good, and yeah, we did make it up to the end dogs and wogs, all this plethora again. It's funny how it feels like a broken record right now. Interesting, but we did nothing after that. Didn't even watch the charts. Looks like lunch did come back, took out some stops in our typical lunch macro. 12:25, 12:13 was the reversal time, and then upper quadrant of this CE, staying below this one, so there's still buy side up there. Lunch never took it out, and PM session never took it out, so they're just engineering liquidity, getting ready for NFP later this week. Tomorrow's probably going to be consolidation as well, so I hope you trade anything live. So that's fun to be able to see things, and now that you're at the point where you can see trades and not take them, but they still go to where you expect. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. Really liking the way I'm reading price action right now. Just working on a few of my own little personal habits and removing mistakes as much as possible. So video journaling done for the day. I'm happy with the week. I won't be any live trades until post the NFP. Not even going to be demoing. Maybe just only tape reading. So who knows? Maybe I'll try live streaming tomorrow just to see if it works. I haven't done it with this setup yet. So who knows? Maybe. We'll see. Any questions? Let me know if I can help. If you see anything that I know I call things backwards every once in a while. Welcome to old age. It's me against you young guys. I'll take you on all the time. Let's go. Let's dance. All right. Remember, tomorrow is promised for none of us. It's beautiful weather out there. Get out there and live today. Take care.